Hey there. Okay, so today we are going to be doing everything lying on our backs. This is a postnatal lower abdominal pelvic floor warm-up and workout, depending on what you need for your day today. If you are further along in your postpartum journey, you can do this just as your warm-up, or if you are early days and you want something to start restoring you, this is perfect connection time for you. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You can be doing it while kids are running around the house, but just get it done. All right, so when we're postnatal, the best way to engage with our pelvic floor again is to breathe. And it's a really great way to also warm up our lower abdominals. So what you're gonna do for me is just find a nice, comfortable laying down position, hopefully on a hard surface and not your mattress. So ideally the floor with just a yoga mat. And then we're just gonna breathe. So when you're breathing, pop one hand onto your lower belly, one hand onto your rib cage, and take nice big inhale, and then a deep exhale, all through the nose. Inhale, and then exhale. Now I want you to see if you can breathe more into that lower abdominal hand. So the lower hand, inhale, and then exhale. Now switch it, see if you can breathe more into your rib cage hand. And then exhale. And ideally what we're doing is we're filling both hands at the same time, because what we want is for our lungs to fully expand, fully compress the diaphragm, and then as we exhale, we now have space for the diaphragm to come back in, because the lungs have come back together, or the lungs have expelled all the air, whatever. Inhale, pelvic floor relaxes. Exhale, pelvic floor draws up and in. Inhale. And then exhale, pelvic floor draws up and in. Okay, from there we're going to be doing our pelvic tilt. So grab your middle finger and your thumb. Place the middle finger on the hip bones, place the thumb on the bottom of the rib cage. You're just gonna draw these apart from each other, the back will arch, and then you're gonna draw these towards each other, the butt will lift slightly, okay? From there, we're going to make the movement smaller and smaller and smaller until we find a neutral spine. From there, I want us to tilt the pelvis. So we're just gonna draw the ribs towards the hips. We're going to exhale, and we're going to draw our pelvic floor up and in. Let it all go. Exhale, tuck the pelvis. Inhale, let it go. Exhale, tuck the pelvis. Pelvic floor draws up and in. Inhale, let it go. Two more. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. I'm sorry, it's such a super windy day. Good. From there, we're going to be doing knee drops. So I'm going to take my knee out to the side and lower as much as possible, and then draw back in. So if you're not very flexible, you might find that this is as far as your knee can go. That's totally fine. But let's take our two fingers, so our index and our middle finger. You're gonna place them on the hip bones. From there, you're gonna take them an inch inside the hip bones and then an inch down. This is where your transverse abdominals are, and I want you to imagine that you're pulling your hip bones towards each other, okay? It's not physically possible, but that's what I want you to think about doing in your mind's eye. Hip bones towards each other, and then we're going to take the knee out and we're gonna drop it, drop it, drop it, and you should feel something happening underneath those fingers. There should be something stretching and elongating, and then as you exhale, bring the knee back in, it should soften. So we try that on the other side. Inhale, and then exhale. Good. And what we're looking for here is that there's no arching in the lower back. Everything is coming from the lower abdominals. And now you can just release that breath, do regular breathing, and just continue doing your knee drops. I also want you to think about relaxing your butt cheeks. So we don't want those glutes to tense. You want to keep them nice and relaxed. And this is helping us regain control of those lower abdominals. You might be like, this is super boring, Ziggy, why am I doing this? Because we have just had a baby. You have just gone through 9 months of pregnancy, or however long you went through pregnancy, and your body needs to recover. This is recovery mode time, not beat yourself up time. You are stressed enough as it is with your sleeplessness, with teething, with breastfeeding, with not breastfeeding, with cleaning a house, whatever it is that's going on in your life, this is restore time, okay? I'm just trying to connect back to the simplest things in our body. From here, we're going to keep that lower back pressed into the floor. You're gonna give me a nice big inhale, and we're gonna take the arms up over our head, try and touch the floor, and then exhale, come back down. No bulging in the belly, everything nice and relaxed. So if you can't take the arms up overhead without your rib cage popping out or your back arching, you are going to bend at the elbow for me, just touch the fingers back, and then come back down. So this is an inhale, lower back isn't arching, and then exhale, return down. All right, 4 more. Inhale, the space below the hip bones is drawing towards the spine. And I don't say belly button because when we suck our belly towards the spine, we actually inhibit the diaphragm from doing its work. So you want to think about the space below the hip bones, okay, in your pelvis. Good. Let's do 1 more. Exhale, and then inhale, arms go all the way back. And then exhale. Good stuff. All right, so final one, we're gonna do some dead bug variations. So normally when we see dead bugs, it's sort of like a box position, but you might not be able to get the knees up into this position without the lower back, without the belly bulging. So we're gonna do a DNS or a birth fit dead bug. So you're gonna pretend that you're holding a stability ball in your legs. We're going to hold a stability ball in our arms, and we're just gonna call this neutral. Knees are slightly bent, so are our elbows, and we're gonna inhale, lower one arm, see if we can touch the floor, and then exhale, no lower back arching, no belly bulging. Inhale, take the other arm down, exhale, come back. Now we try with the legs, okay? So we're gonna inhale, take one leg as close to the floor as possible, and then exhale, come back. And that's as far as I can go. I'm 12 weeks postpartum with my second baby. This was an emergency C-section this time, so I don't have as much control over my lower abdominals as I previously had. There isn't a lot of feeling there. So it's important that we just go to wherever we can go, and the lower back isn't gonna arch and the belly isn't bulging. So it's important nothing else shifts when we're doing this bit. All right, and then if that was okay, we can try for alternating. And then exhale, alternate, exhale. And so normally when I coach this, the common things that I see going wrong are people will extend this leg, or they will move an arm and a leg together. And those are great exercises, but it's not the exercise that we're focusing on. We're just trying to go opposite arm, slight bend, okay? Everything else staying neutral. Okie dokie. I hope you enjoyed that. Give it a try. Let me know how you go.